All right, well, first round, win, survive, and advance. That's all that matters nowadays in this tournament. Just win, score more points than the other team. Who cares how it gets done? The Aztecs with a hard-fought win. It looked like it was going to be a really easy win. I mean, they were up by 11 points. They were cruising. Defense really good. Offense hadn't gone through like that scoring drought, and then they went through one mini in the first half, then went through a bigger one in the second half. UAB goes on this 11-0 or 9-0, I think 9-0 scoring run, but we have Jaedon LeDee and UAB did not. Lendeborg, that is not Jaedon LeDee. That was the matchup going into this. That was super interesting. Two big men. Lendeborg double on the year, but he was not playing in the Mountain West all season, and there's some things that you can't teach. The size, the physicality that Jaedon LeDee has. And man, what a day he had. The Aztecs, and credit to the defense, like limiting Lendeborg, limiting other shooters on that team. I think 11 points. He was 0 from the field. If it wasn't the whole first half, it was most of the first half, just minimizing him, getting him into foul trouble, getting Lendeborg out of the game late. And Jaedon LeDee, how huge was he late? I mean, he won this game. Now, Lamont was big defensively, and there were other guys that contributed, but over 30 points, almost triple the points that Lendeborg had in this game, is what LeDee ends up scoring. And when it mattered the most, he made the free throws to go up 3 twice, and then got the big rebound to essentially seal it. So big. And I think that just like shows again and again how great Jaedon LeDee is, and I don't know if he is underrated around the country, like for college basketball fans that follow every conference and know really what they're talking about. I don't think he is underrated. I think he's one of the best players in the country, but for like the casual fan, yeah, I mean, Jaedon LeDee, it feels like he's being introduced to the country, because remember last year, he was more of a role player. I was just listening post-game to Lauren Shahadi's interview, and she was talking about how he was a role player, and now he's obviously this big star. Well, like Aztecs fans and big college basketball fans, they know who Jaedon LeDee is. They've known this about him all season long. He's one of the best players in the country, proved it yet again. But this is just one of those where Jaedon LeDee can be in the spotlight, and he deserves it with the year that he has had, how talented he is. And in that post-game interview, for example, like he didn't want to talk about himself. He wanted to go talk about Lamont Butler and talk about the rest of the defense. So you want a player leading your program. I mean, it's Jaedon LeDee. It's Lamont Butler. It's those types of guys. So win in advance. You really don't want the scoring droughts, because if that happens later in the tournament and you have some more physicality with other teams, better teams, overall teams, is San Diego State going to be in trouble? Like, there were some causes for concern in this game, but, I mean, there was also some signs, very positive signs in this game about, like, them not getting in that big hole to start. Like, that's been a problem for this Aztecs team, right? But they didn't do that. They got out to that lead, and that allowed them to, not continue to do that well offensively, and that allowed a little bit a breathing room for the Aztecs. You want to keep the breathing room throughout the game, though, and not give it up, because UAB ended up having a narrow lead at one point in that second half. You don't want that to happen, and so we'll see if it's Auburn. Is it going to be Yale? That's going to be coming up on Sunday from Washington. But again, this time of year, survive in advance. That's all that matters, regardless of how it looked. Did it look good? Did it not? I think it was a combination of both. But yeah, Aztecs fans, give your thoughts in the comments. I'm happy. They get the win. That's all that matters. And I'm sure a lot of Aztecs fans are happy as well. Relieved. Maybe that's like the biggest feeling right now, is relieved that they weren't FAU this year, where FAU just got upset in the first round, I think against Northwestern. San Diego State is not that. They get to advance, and I would think regardless of who they're playing, like, they're going to have a good shot to advance to the second weekend of this tournament, second week of the tournament, if LeDee has that type of game, if there are scorers around him, if the offense, can, again, give them more breathing room like they did today. Because getting down early in a tournament when you're playing a better team, I just don't know how that's going to go. But it didn't happen today, and that's one of the reasons why I think Aztecs fans were going to be happy.